The playoffs. Well, shit happens. And Silver Stars lost, which it's not too surprising. You know, they started out the season as one of the worst in the league. Well, not necessarily the worst, but they were like middle of the pack. And then they went on that 12-game winning streak, and I was still thinking about that. Because I know that they have the talent and the skills to defeat everybody, but at the same time, since they coming back from that Olympic break, it's just they have not been really winning, and I'm not at all shocked to find out that they just aren't going to. I'm upset as a Stars fan, but the Sparks have been one of the better teams all year long. They've played a lot more consistently than the Stars, and the Stars, while they have the talent, they are a good team. Once again, they haven't found that consistency. They haven't really been in rhythm these last few weeks. So it's not really too surprising that they couldn't get anything going against the Stars. And then you have the Connecticut beating New York, which is a lot less surprising. I expected Connecticut, who's been number one in the East all season, who has the league MVP. You expected them to go 2-0 in this series against New York, who barely scratched their way into the playoffs at the last second. And now we've got two more games. You've got Atlanta, who surprisingly did take that one-game lead and could possibly end up going 2-0 against Indiana. I expect Indiana to fight. I would not be surprised if they ended up moving it to Game 3. However, I would not be surprised if they end up going down 0-2 and if the series ends tonight. I think the most shocking thing that would ever happen, though, would be if Minnesota closed out the series today against Seattle. Seattle is one of the best teams in the league with Sue Bird and Lauren Jackson. They have a lot of talent on that roster, and it's just because the talent hasn't been there. That's the main thing. And Lauren Jackson was out the entire first half of the season because of the Olympic break. And then in the second half of the year, injuries to all sorts of different players. They didn't have a consistent lineup. I think they played pretty well last week, and you could see they struggled due to Minnesota's defense. And I would not be too shocked to see Minnesota sweep just because it is Minnesota. They have been the best team in the league all year. But I think that Seattle poses a greater threat to them than any other team in the league right now, and I would not be surprised to see Seattle win and push it to 3 games.